Hi, I'm back up today with another one of the Lottie Loves Paper weekly challenges, and this week it is to use cups or mugs on your layout. So I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity for me to stash bust some of my Echo Park Coffee and Friends collection. Now this is one of my favourite collections from last year, and as you can see I have this piece of green paper that I had gutted for a previous layout and thought that I may well use as a frame for a page. But then I had this idea that I could use it on the diagonal and create like a top and bottom section to my page. Now to start with, I wasn't sure whether I would use that on that piece of white cardstock because I'm not very good at using all pattern backgrounds, as you'll have seen from previous process videos I've done. But I wanted to push myself a little bit and work a little bit outside of my comfort zone. And I really loved the black gingham paper that was in the collection. So I decided that that would be my background piece. So what I'm doing now is I'm just using a pencil and making a few faint marks as to where I want to cut that green frame up with. As you can see, didn't do a very good job with that, so then decided it would be a lot easier if I removed that white cardstock piece so I could actually see where the edge of my background paper would be, and therefore that really helped me with my pencil lines and cutting it in the right place. So just having a play around now, and I wasn't sure whether I wanted the green to frame that tiny piece of white cardstock that you can see there perfectly, or to have a little white border around the outside of the frame too. So I'm distressing the edges of it, and I decided to go with the latter of the two options and have, as you'll see in a moment, cut it so that I have a little tiny white border around the outside edge of that almost like triangular shape. So I'm just going around my distressed edges now with almost a tone on tone colour of Distress Oxide, and I think that was called Bundled Sage. So there we go, just sticking it on now, and then what I've done is I've just trimmed it up and then distressed around the white cardstock edge as well, and again added some subtle inking with that Bundled Sage Distress Oxide. So I've got this photograph of me holding a cup of coffee from my velvetizer, and when I was younger I really didn't enjoy coffee that much at all, but as I've got older it's really become an acquired taste, and I do like smoother, creamier things. So the velvetizer coffee is just delightful and really is for me a hug in a mug. So to match that to match the top piece of my layer, I decided to do a little bit of a mirror image on the bottom just to balance the page off nicely, and I've used some more of that green frame and white cardstock to do exactly the same at the bottom and distress the edges in ink. And then I've used one of the cute little cut apart pieces from the cut apart sheet in the collection and just trimmed around it and placed it on that bottom right hand corner, and that will provide the perfect place for me to add my journaling later, because there's not really that much space for me to add my journaling due to the black and white gingham background. So that's created the ideal opportunity for me. Now, the thing that I've loved about this collection are the floral papers in it. I think every single layout I've created using this collection I have fussy cut the florals. I love fussy cutting anyway, but yeah, I'm adding those on, tucking them in behind my coffee mug and the coffee cup up the top there, and just basically layering everything up. Now there's also another really cute sheet in the collection which I really loved, and it almost had like mini chalkboards all over it with beautiful sayings, and I just thought they'd help add a little bit more detail to my page. So what I've done is I've cut them but with a slight white frame around them. So that's enabled me to distress them with my scissors. And then I've also added some colour around to match in with those peachy pinky florals that I've fussy cut out and added on. So that Distress Oxide colour was spun sugar, and it just matches really, really nicely. So the little chalkboard piece that I've picked there is Life Happens, Coffee Helps, and it certainly does. First thing in the morning when you have to get up and take your daughter to the bus station for 7 o'clock every morning. I always love it when the school holidays come because I don't have to get up so early. But yeah, a cup of coffee definitely helps me start the day off, and also gives me a little pick-me-up when I'm feeling a bit tired. So I'm happy with everything is now, and I'm just sticking down some of the florals that I know I'm not going to raise up on foam pads. Because I'm notorious for not sticking things down as I go along, which is really silly when there's lots of little bits like this on your page. So there we go. I'm just adding some kids foam on the back. One side is sticky and the other side I just use some of my Nuvo glue with. And I've raised the photograph and that coffee is a hug mug up on double-sided foam, and also my journaling block down the bottom right-hand corner too. And that just helps create some dimension to my page, and also allows me now, as you can see, to tuck in more little bits and bobs, some of the cute little stickers and that, and some more fussy cut florals later on, and that coffee chalkboard piece up the top left corner. So I really love how those florals are cascading down from the top section to the bottom section. It just helps lead your eye from that top area to bottom area. And I've added a few more pink floral, fussy cut florals in as well, because that just links into my photograph a little bit more there with those beautiful tulips that one of my clients had given me as a leaving present this week. And they're just so beautiful, and I just thought it tied in really nicely. So I wanted to break up some of the white cardstock here, and I'm using the spun sugar Distress Oxide again and just gently applying with makeup brush through a stencil, which is a Paige Evans stencil. Now I should have done that really before sticking everything down, but as always my brain has about 100 things whizzing through it, different ideas, and sometimes doesn't process things in the right order, and it was a bit of an afterthought, but I love the effect it gives. You can't see it too well there because I haven't applied it too thickly. I just wanted it to be a little bit of a subtle pattern showing through to break up the white there. So I've added a black journaling line around my photograph to help that pop out a little bit more, and my journaling to that bottom right journaling card now. And then I still wanted to add more to it. More is more when it comes to scrapbooking for me, and I love, this is the bit I love, all the little details and adding things in. And I had these really gorgeous wooden and cork hearts from Pear Tree Cut Files. They're called Pear Tree Pieces, and I've used these with this collection before. I just think that the colours of them go really, really nicely with the rest of the collection. So I'm just tucking in some of the hearts behind some of my layered flowers that are raised up on the foam. Like I said, that just makes it a lot easier for you to add these little things in at the end. And I'm also adding one of the hearts actually on top of my photograph because I quite like the look that gives. So last few finishing touches now, a sprinkle of sequins from Lucy's Little Things that I'm going to stick down, and they're in like pale greens and yellows and pinks, which go nicely with the collection. And I also add some white acrylic ink splatters on at the end too. So I hope you've enjoyed this process video for the Lottie Loves Paper Weekly Challenge for this week. And if you've liked it, please give it a thumbs up. and follow me. You can find me on Instagram, and do head on over to the Lottie Loves Paper Facebook community page to join in with our weekly challenges. So this has been Vic for Lottie Loves Paper. Thanks so much, and I shall hopefully see you again next week. Bye.